There are many reasons why you may want to change your cassette. Maybe you've noticed that it's worn, you want a different size cassette. This is Tony at Tony 10 Speed, and we're going to show you how to remove and install the cassette with ease. Let's take a look. Several items you'll need: a chain whip, either a vice grip or an adjustable wrench, whatever you happen to have on hand, a lockring tool. For campy, we use BBT 5, slightly different. For most of the rest, Shimano, SRAM, and almost all the others, we use a Park 5.2. Both the chain whip and the lockring tool sell for around $10 or so, well worth the price. You'll also need some lubricant, and we'll show you why. Take our wheel and remove the skewer. Notice which way the springs are oriented, the small end towards the sprocket, the large end towards the nut. Move both springs, again, large end towards the skewer on the other side. Place our lock ring tool into the lock ring. Fasten the skewer. Just fasten it enough so it's still a little bit loose, but the lock ring tool won't fall out. You notice that the cassette and Freehub can move in one direction. This is when we're coasting. It's called freewheeling. We're going to need to hold that cassette in place at the same time using our adjustable wrench. We're going to place it on the lock ring tool such that if we move it over here, we can see the handles are very close together. So when we press hard together, we can feel that lock ring move. We can remove our adjustable wrench, our whip, the bolt at the end of the skewer, and finally our lock ring tool we can use to go ahead and remove the lock ring and move everything off of the cassette. Another method to free up the lock ring, using our chain whip. We're going to push down on the chain whip. At the same time, we're going to push down with our wrench until we feel it give. Before installing a replacement or a new cassette, make sure you lightly grease the Freehub body so the cassette does not bind or seize in place. Turn the cassette body. There's one portion that has only a single spine as compared to two. We're going to turn that to the 12 o'clock position. We're also going to use a cassette that's mainly one unit so it distributes the torque evenly and doesn't gouge the Freehub. Find that single, which is right up here between the spines, which has only a single narrow area. I'm going to flip it over and place that narrow area on that single spine. We'll do this for all the others. Finally, apply some grease to the lock ring itself so you can get it started by hand. Once our lock ring is in position, using our lock ring tool, we'll go ahead and tighten as firmly as possible by hand. Attach our skewer without the springs. Tighten down the end nut. Alright, we have that as tight as we can by hand. Then, using our adjustable wrench, we're going to pull this from about the 3 o'clock position, nice firm pull, down to almost the 5 to 6 o'clock position. Most mechanics just use a wrench. We don't bother with a torque wrench. It'll get us to about 20-25 Newton meters, which is plenty sufficient to tighten the cassette for smooth shifting. Now we can go ahead and remove our skewer, lock ring tool, apply our springs. Remember we said that the big part of the spring is towards the outside, or the lever. Big part of the spring is towards the lock nut, small part towards the cassette. Go ahead and tighten it up. And we're ready to replace this back on the bike and rock and roll. If you're going to change the size of the cassette that you're going to install, there are many other factors to consider, and we'll cover that in another video. If you have any suggestions, please comment. Please subscribe to keep up with our latest videos. This is Tony of Tony 10 Speed. Safe cycling.